Hello everyone, and welcome to the introduction of the Scalable Smart Packager webinar, Create Application Packages in a Few Clicks. My name is Paul Peasky. I am the VP of Sales for the Smart Packager product line here at Scalable Software. I'd like to welcome everyone joining us today as we are very excited about this new product offering. Today I'll be joined by Brian Friesen, Director of Product Management for our Smart Packager products. I'm going to kick off the webinar today by taking you through some of the reasons why Smart Packager has received so much attention in such a short period of time. Some of you may have seen on Tuesday our press release announcing that within the first 90 days of release we have had over 2,500 downloads of the Smart Packager. From there I'm going to provide a walkthrough of the features and capabilities of the Smart Packager Pro, and then I'll pass it on to Brian, who will go through a hands-on demonstration so you can see some of the functionality live and experience how painless it can be to create application packages using Smart Packager Pro, and from there on to Q&A and then a special offer. So let's get going. Award-winning WinInstall was the first non-scripting approach to packaging in 1994. WinInstall was also the first MSI packager and shipped on the Windows 2000 Advanced Server CD. So from early 2000, Scalable's WinInstall LE, the first free MSI packager, and the MSI Packager Pro have been used by tens of thousands of administrators worldwide, making it the most widely used MSI packager on the market. Now, keeping on with the tradition of delivering industry-first, next-generation application packaging solutions, Scalable Software recently released Smart Packager Community Edition and Smart Packager Pro, where we have experienced an excellent reaction from our customers and the market, and as I mentioned, more than 2,500 downloads in the first 90 days of the release. I guess the underlying message here is we not only listen to our customers, but we also listen to the market as well. So what did we hear and how did we respond? Well, this is only a fraction of the feedback we heard. As you can see, we are very customer and market-driven oriented, as I stated in the previous slide. What we've been hearing out there is, hey, we've had no choice but to acquire, a multitude of products to address all these different elements associated with application packaging, such as, virtualization, workflow, package editing. And so what did we do? Well, we provide now a single solution for both physical and virtual environments without costly add-ons or a pack or compatibility packs. This is one integrated solution, as you will see. Another comment we were hearing is, well, we have to outsource our application packaging due to lack of in-house knowledge. Well, what we have is the ability to create a deployment-ready MSI in just a few clicks without having advanced application packaging skills, which a lot of IT shops just don't have. Or we are being forced to purchase over-engineered, expensive solutions. So what we did is we matched the market needs along with the product features, and we priced accordingly at a reasonable price point. And then I'm hearing time and time again, well, we just don't get the same level of support like we used to when, our product was under company XYZ. And now they want us to pay extra for telephone support. So what we've offered, along with Smart Packager, is a worldwide single support plan, both telephone, email, and portal access. Right now I want to take you through the Smart Packager technology and kind of give you a flavor as to why we have developed what we consider the most advanced application packaging technology on the market today. So we start off with our event-driven discovery. Well, so what is it? The Smart Packager event-driven discovery is a tool used to generate a new package based upon changes to the system. So what we do is we use a low-level device driver to monitor the system for all changes. And from there, the changes are then packaged into a new Windows installer or MSI file. Now, the main benefit of live monitoring over traditional snapshots is speed and performance. So using snapshots requires a lot of time and processing to create the first and second snapshot, and then to delta the difference between the two to create the final package. Well, live monitoring does not require this additional processing, and the actual monitoring of events does not slow down the speed or performance of the computer. Another benefit is reduced disk space. Now, snapshots require additional disk space to store the before and after snapshots. But with live monitoring, there's no need for snapshots, therefore no additional disk space is needed. Finally, live monitoring allows for better filtering of desired events. Using live monitoring, it is possible to filter out what we consider background noise caused by other processes in the system. Next, we look at our next generation smart repackager technology. And you have problems associated with your traditional repackaging processes. They are complex, requires a skilled staff to create updates, merge modules, etc. There's lots of room for error. Missing files may cause an application to fail or not operate properly. Extra files can cause system problems or an uninstall and install. In terms of the MSI package itself, the repair functionality, conflicts or poor packages can result in repeated repair activity. And then sometimes you just can't repackage an application. If you look on the left, you see a traditional, regular repackaged MSI file. So with regular repackaging, a new package is created, and only the files, registry keys, services, shortcuts, etc. are added to the new package. The result is a package that installs the original application but does not include the UI. Thus, the new package can be installed unintended or silently. Now, with smart repackaging, the diagram on the right, like regular packaging, omits the UI and repackages the files, registry keys, services, shortcuts, etc. However, it also includes the Windows installer record keeping that was installed. And by including these additional files and registry keys, an installation repackaged using smart repackaging is able to preserve many of the benefits of the Windows installer. So the benefits are you have future upgrades and patching of the product. It works correctly. All the product shortcuts, advertised shortcuts will work correctly, and the MSI or Windows installer features such as auto repair will work correctly. As you know, IT departments are constantly preparing applications for deployment. But if the process of application packaging and overall application management is handled poorly, for example, no best practices, expensive errors can occur, resulting in application deployment delays, software downtime, lost productivity, and an increase in IT costs. So what's required is a best practice process to eliminate costly deployment errors and reduce help desk calls, ensuring faster application rollouts and reduced IT costs. So whether you're working in a small packaging team or multiple IT centers, the Smart Packager's integrated workflow manager makes it simple to monitor every aspect of the application packaging process. And as you can see, Workflow Manager shows the status of every application packaging process, who is working on it, and any issues that may arise, so you can take action to ensure that service level agreements are being met. And it's important to note here that this is best practice feature is not an add-on component or part of any compatibility pack that you need to purchase separately. Again, this is fully integrated with the Smart Packager product. A package has successfully undergone the workflow process, the application package is then moved to the editor page. Now, the editor page maintains a list of all managed packages and facilitates future changes and additions to the package through the Smart Package Editor. So general Windows installer properties such as files and folders, registry settings, shortcuts, Windows services installed by the application package, and more can be edited directly from within the package editor facility within Smart Packager. And one overriding feature of the Smart Packager editing facility that we heard time and time again from our customers and the market was to eliminate the confusing and seldom used properties that are included with some of the other product offerings related to MSI editing. We also have integrated in ISO 1977-2 software tagging. So today when applications are repackaged, deployed and installed on client endpoints within an enterprise, the identifying evidence or fingerprints are often lost. The back-end asset management tools then struggle to properly identify the installed application. So Smart Packager is helping to solve this industry problem. And what we're doing is we're allowing an organization to add ISO 19770-2 compliant tags to repackaged applications and preserve the original publisher information that will enable applications to be identified after installation. So Smart Packager is now empowering enterprises to enhance their license optimization efforts immediately without having to wait for software vendors to adopt the ISO 19770-2 standard. Standing industry problem of identifying repackaged applications after deployment and installation has finally been solved through the application of smart tags in the repackaging process and tag-aware software asset management solutions. We also integrated AppV packaging. In addition to MSI packages, we have the integrated AppV packaging facility that's capable of creating AppV packages while simultaneously creating Windows installer packages. So kind of give you a snapshot view for IT professionals who are involved with application packaging. Smart Packager is really the most advanced application packaging tool on the market for both virtual application MSI packaging. And because of applying an innovative event-driven discovery technology as well as integrated workflow, it makes it easy for application packagers to quickly prepare reliable, tested MSIs for conflict-free deployment to any Windows OS, including Windows 7 and Windows 8, or reliable tested virtual package is for deployment on today's popular application virtualization technology, Microsoft AppV. And then lastly, Smart Packager will allow you to hand off application packages to deployment solutions such as Microsoft SCCM. Maybe you have ADGP out there. Maybe you have Novell ZenWorks, Landesk Management Suite, BMC, Tivoli. It really doesn't matter. We will be able to hand off the application package to any of those deployment systems. At this point, what I'd like to do is turn it over to Brian Friesen, who will give you a walkthrough, a hands-on demonstration of the Smart Packager Pro. Okay, Brian?
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Paul. And again, my name is Brian Friesen, and just wanted to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And I guess just a little bit of background information for me. I'm the lead developer on the Smart Packager product here at Scalable. And before working on that project, I worked on the WinInstall product we have for about 10 years or so. And WinInstall has integrated software repackaging and distribution built into it. So for well over 12 years now, I've been working with software packaging and repackaging and all that. So definitely have a lot of background in that area. What I was going to do today is basically run through, kind of show you Smart Packager in operation so you can get an idea of how it works. The Smart Packager product itself, depending on how you look at it, it's either one fully integrated product or you can take a look at it as two separate products. There is a discovery component, which is the one that actually does the repackaging, and then there's also the Smart Packager, which is the workflow and editor portion. And they are fully integrated, or you can run them as separate tools depending on how you want to do it. For today, we'll go ahead and start with the discovery tool and show you how easy it is to repackage software. If you've dealt with repackagers before, then you've probably seen those processes before. A lot of times you have a snapshot before and after, and you end up with a package out the back end, or however it works. But we basically wanted to go through and we wanted to streamline the process, make it as simple as possible. So you'll see here with very few information, we can create a new package. So initially, I'm going to go ahead and do Firefox. So I just type in the name of the package I want, Firefox. It's defaulted a folder for the output package. I can change that if I want, but I'm just going to go with the default. And then on the next page here, so as Paul was saying, we have a low-level device driver that monitors the system and collects all those changes and builds a package from it. All you need to do is basically click Start to say, let's start that driver. You do whatever you want to do to the system, come back here, hit Stop, and that kind of bookends the process. So I'm just going to start it, and then I'm going to run the Firefox installation. Now, one of the benefits here is, you can go through and say you want to do a custom installation. So, maybe your organization, maybe you don't want the maintenance service for Firefox. And, we'll leave those alone. So when you build a package, everything, all the changes I've done here will be included in that package. And there, Firefox is installed, so we can come back here and say stop. And when you hit next, it'll do a very quick analysis of what happened to the system. And here's just a results page showing you all the files that it detected, as well as registry keys. And for the most part, this results page is just kind of to show you what happened. But say you find something in here like, oh, I don't want that folder or file in there, you can delete things from here. But for the most part, this page is just to kind of show you what it detected on the system. And then on the finish page, basically just a summary of what's going to happen, and you can have it automatically open the folder in Explorer when it's done. Click Finish, and it'll create the new package in the background. And I mean, as you saw, basically I entered the name of the package, and that was pretty much the only question I had to fill in to be able to create a package of Firefox. And there we go. So now we have Firefox MSI, which we can distribute on other systems, use, if you have SCCM or whatever tool you want to throw it out through your network, you've now got Firefox. In addition to the packaging, we also generate a results file here, which is kind of just a log of what happened. So, it demonstrates the package that we've done, the system it was on, date, time, information about the MSI, and all the files and registry keys that were included in the package. So if you need record keeping about the package, you've got it there. So kind of the next thing I want to do is actually I'm going to do a second repackage with Discovery. And this time I'm going to go through and right here was an option for advanced options, and I'm going to enable that. And, we wanted it to be simple, but at the same time, we don't want to shield options that more power users may want. So we've put stuff behind some advanced option pages. And this time I'm going to do an application. It's called Notepad++, just a free little utility on the internet, pretty useful. And when I go into the advanced options, I get a lot more pages here. For example, if I want a compressed or uncompressed MSI, I can control that. I can control the schema version for the MSI if I so desire to change it. And I'll also point out at any time, if you're lost or confused, you can just hit F1 and it'll pull open a help file for that page showing you exactly the options on that page, talking about them. And the help file itself also has a lot of other useful information in it. It has all the different versions of Windows and what MSI schema they ship with and whether or not you can upgrade Windows to a different version of the MSI schema. Talks about App V and just all this other stuff. And then probably one of the areas that's most beneficial to people new to packaging is best practices. And this is just a list of things you should do to your system to ensure that you get the best possible package out the back end. And so this is definitely a good read for first-time packagers. But yeah, so back to the options. You can go to the next page. If your organization has a digital signature that you like to sign packages with for installation, you can enable this and then browse to that digital signature, and then the output package will automatically be signed with your signature. If you've dealt with packagers before, like I was saying earlier, it basically monitors the entire system, everything that's happening, and you've got other processes running on the system. If nothing else, Windows itself is running in the background, and they'll make changes and whatnot, and you don't want to include those in the package. So by default, we include a lot of file filters that these are all the filters that exclude the normal background noise that Windows generates. And you're free to come in here. You can edit these. You can add and remove filters of your own. If you find you have an application that you just can't turn off and you want to filter it out, you can do that. As well as file filters, there's also registry filters. So you can come through and, again, exclude areas of the registry that you don't want to package. And if you have Microsoft AppV and you want to do that as well, you can create an AppV package. And I'll show this again later. Okay, so again, now you're back to the part where you click Start to discover. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Typically, when you think of repackaging, you think of I'm running an MSI or an EXE, and I'm going to repackage that setup into another MSI. But I'm going to show you that you don't even have to have an installation to repackage. You can just hit Start. And so what I've got here is I've actually got the files for Notepad just on my desktop. I'm just going to go to the Program Files folder. I'm just going to copy it in here. And then I'm going to put a shortcut out on the desktop. Hit Stop. And now it'll create a package that simulates what I just did, puts Notepad++ on there and a shortcut on the desktop without actually installing anything. And this is really useful. A lot of people like to package up just changes to the system that aren't in installation. Maybe it's customizations to Windows, a custom wallpaper, something like that. So pretty much anything you can do to Windows, you can build an MSI package for it. And then create the output package, and now you've got Notepad++ that'll do what I did there. So I'm actually going to run one more discovery here, and this time I'm going to show you the AppV stuff that we were talking about. So this time I'll do Chrome, and again go into the advanced options, and we'll leave the options alone. We won't assign. Okay, so AppV, you just click this and say create an AppV package. Here's the folder where it'll create it. In this case, I want a compressed AppV package. So then I browse to what I'm going to install already on my desktop, and then click Start Discovery. What it's going to do is it's going to spin up Microsoft AppV Sequencer under the covers and start the installation of the package. And then out the back end of all of this, we're going to get two packages. We're going to get the Chrome AppV package, and we're also going to get the Chrome MSI, regular MSI, for installation on any systems other than AppV. While this is running, I'll kind of talk briefly about the AppV process. There's actually two different ways of creating AppV packages. You can either create them manually on your own, or you can rely on the Microsoft tools to create the package for you. And we ended up going down the route of requiring the Microsoft sequencer to handle it. And the reason we did that is Microsoft's come out and they've made it very clear that if you use AppV and you create packages other than using Microsoft's tools, they will not officially support that. And a lot of people have kind of been shying away from third-party software tools that create AppV packages on their own. So we rely entirely on the Microsoft sequencer to create the package. Therefore, you don't have to worry about compatibility problems with Microsoft or anything like that. Finishing up the installation here, AppV running in the background here, their sequencer. When you have a device driver running in the background monitoring the system, there is a very minor impact to system performance, but the overall, few people would even notice a change. There's just very little impact to the system. That said, AppV is in the process of creating its package right now, and it takes a little bit more time. While we're waiting for Microsoft Sequencer to create a package for us here, I will mention that Discovery, we have two different versions of Discovery. This is the wizard-driven Discovery, which probably most people will want to run through. It's just, friendly wizard to guide you through the process. In addition to this, we also have a Discovery command line version that you can use if you want to script the process of creating packages. It's just a totally unattended, scriptable way of discovering packages. And some people like to automate the process of, building packages. And so we have a command line version of discovery that allows you to do that in a scripted fashion. I'm actually going to go ahead and minimize this, let it work in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Smart Packager UI, which this is the general place for working on the package after you've had it in Discovery, created it through Discovery. And again, the whole focus of the UI should just make it easy to navigate, easy to use, and focus on the user who maybe doesn't do packaging 24/7. Maybe you create a package and then you won't run this program again for a couple of weeks, so you have to create another package. And do you really remember, what do I click on next? How do I do this? What do I do there? And so we've created this design to help guide you through that process. Just on the welcome page here, we've got some links to most common tasks, such as discovering a new application. And if you just click this, it'll open up the discovery right here, and you can just run the discovery wizard through here. You don't have to go run discovery as a separate process. It'll also show you the last couple of things that you've done. For you down here, you can see, worked on Notepad++. So it keeps track of what you've been working on. So when you come in here, it'll show you, oh yeah, that's the last thing I was working on. And one of the things we have here is the workflow tab. And this is the graphical workflow that's going to guide the user through the process. Everything from discovering a new application to modifying it, testing it, and then finally releasing it out into the company for use. So you can take a package, and after you've discovered it, you can make any modifications you want. And so now it's in the modification phase, and it'll automatically pull up in the editor. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that for now. But once it's in the modification phase, you can do whatever changes you want to that package. You can add files, remove files, add shortcuts, that kind of stuff. And once you've modified the package and you're happy with it, you can move it on to the testing phase. And there's a wizard that'll guide you through, and it'll offer you the option to install it either on this local machine or another machine. And basically, you're testing the package through installation. And once you're happy with the package, you can move it on. If for some reason you find a problem in the testing phase, you can go back to the modification phase. Or if you've tested it and you like it, you can say, hey, this package is complete, I'm done with it. And it'll take it out of here and actually move it over into the third tab, which is the package editor. And this is kind of just the holding area for packages. Once you've gone through the workflow and it's out in the world, it'll show you all the packages here. And when you click on a package, it just shows you high-level package information, whether it's 32-bit, 64-bit, name of the package, compressed, uncompressed, that kind of stuff. And from here, you can just double-click on a package and pull open the editor to work on the package if you want. And again, we wanted to keep this simple and focus on the areas of an MSI that people want to edit. If anyone's worked inside of an MSI, you know that there's just hundreds of tables in there, and it is very big, very messy. And so we've kind of focused on the top points that people most want to work on. So again, you've got the general information, which you can change if you want. Obviously, files is a big part of a package. So you can come through here and you can see the files that are in your package. And if you want to add or remove files, it's as simple as just clicking add, and then you can browse to files and folders on your system and add it to the package. Also, you've got registry keys, again, laid out in a very familiar way if you've used like regedit in Windows. So again, you can just add and remove registry keys. And we've also got the shortcuts, which you can just easily add more, take away. Services, which this particular application doesn't have any. And I'm actually going to come back to the software ID tags. And then you've got just some advanced options here, whether or not the installation is per machine, per user. Is it fully compressed, partially compressed, uncompressed? Does it need a reboot? Stuff like that. So, we just wanted to have a high-level editor that touches on the areas that people use most and keep it simple, keep it friendly. And I was talking briefly about the software ID tags. If you're familiar with them, the software ID tags is a relatively new industry standard. Came out a couple years ago, but it's gaining acceptance now. And it's basically a way for software to identify themselves for other software asset management programs to pick it up and recognize it. As of now, most software doesn't come with software ID tags, but if you're repackaging software that has software ID tags, we will automatically pick it up and display it here in this list so you can see the software ID tags with the software. If it doesn't have software ID tags, you can come in here and you can add software ID tags for the software that you just repackaged, or you can edit the ID tags for the software that it has picked up. So if you are relying on software ID tags or you plan on in the future, here's a software packager that's already got the software ID tag built into it. And I think that's about it on the UI. Just kind of wanted to showcase the high-level points and easy navigation and use of the product. So I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass control back to Paul.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much, Brian. That was great. It certainly speaks to the ease of use and powerful aspects of Smart Packager Pro. What I'd like to do now is we've been accumulating some questions, so I want to get to some of these questions, provide some answers, and then from there move on to the special offer, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few of these. A question came up: is there a free version of the packager similar to WinInstall LE? Okay. Well, yes, there is. The Smart Packager CE or Community Edition that I referenced at the beginning of the webinar is the next generation free packager offered by Scalable software. So you can go to scalable.com and certainly download yourself a copy of that. Kind of a tagline question, that is, what's the difference between the Smart Packager Community Edition and the Smart Packager Pro? The Smart Packager CE is, again, it's a free offering for packaging most software installations. However, it will not repackage installations based upon Microsoft Windows installer technology. So you can't repackage an MSI. So if you want to repackage the MSI-based installation, that requires the use of Smart Packager Pro. Is support and updates included with the price of the product? Good question. Yes, our support is offered, as I mentioned earlier on, as a single support plan. And what I mean by this is that you're not required to purchase a separate gold or a silver maintenance program or a pay per incident program. So our support includes, we have telephone and email access to client support services. Yes, we do pick up the phone. We do have application packaging specialists that will work with you. As we also have provide access to the customer support portal, where you'll find, we have a knowledge base, we have updates and patches, we have documentation, technical notes, as well as a facility for incident reporting. Now, in terms of, to answer the second part of the question, in terms of updates, what else is included? Enhancements. You're entitled to all major and minor releases and submission of software enhancement requests. So if you have if you want to see an enhancement, by all means, put forth the request. As I stated earlier, we do listen to the customer and market input for sure. And then we also include our proactive services that includes, for example, our webcast series, as well as automatic incident escalation. So I hope that kind of answers that question. Another one here: is there a merge module facility within Smart Packager? And Brian, I'm gonna toss that one over to you. Maybe you could address that.
Yeah. Short answer is yes, there is support for merge modules. I guess kind of the longer answer on that. For anyone who's not familiar with merge modules, a merge module is Microsoft's solution, if you will, for kind of dependencies or things that you're going to package up a lot. So, if a program depends on, Visual C++ runtime libraries or something like that, you create a merge module, put that in there, and then any application that depends on that, you just pull these merge modules in, and it installs the prerequisites and ensures that they're on the system ahead of time. Smart Packager has support for merge modules, and also we ship the product with, I think it's close to 300 or so of the most common merge modules from Microsoft included in the product, and as it detects these installed on the system, it automatically pulls in the correct merge module into the new package. Also, if you have additional merge modules or if you have additional third-party merge modules, you can put them in this folder, and now Smart Packager will take those merge modules and add them to the package accordingly. So, yeah.
Thank you. Another question came up. How long is your Smart Packager Pro evaluation? Well, we have an evaluation period that's 7 days. And, we found that most evaluations are, they're completed before the 7-day period. So, having a 30-day evaluation with a product as easy to use and, easy to evaluate as Smart Packager Pro really isn't necessary. Okay, another question, what are the license options? Okay, so we have a couple options. Good question. We offer both a perpetual license, so that's your standard license where you buy the software essentially. And we also have now an annual subscription license that includes 12 months use of the product, and that also, along with the 12 months of use, includes full support as I outlined previously, updates as well as upgrades. So you're covered for the whole 12-month period. At this point, what I'd like to do is introduce a special offer to those attendees. So this is a special offer for webinar attendees only. And we're offering a 6-month subscription of Smart Packager Pro, including all support and enhancements, to the first 5 respondents to the offer. So what you have to do is simply send an email to sales@scalable.com, adding Packager Offer in the subject line, and we'll be in contact with the first 5 respondents to this offer. Okay? Again, it's sales@scalable.com, and then Packager Offer in the subject line, and we'll set you up with a subscription of Smart Packager Pro. So in summary, the key points I want to get across and I want to drive home are, this is simple to learn, easy to use, yet very powerful. As Brian mentioned during his demonstration, we eliminated the complexity, what most call, features that really aren't used in this process. And so now, you're able to create reliable application packages without having all this in-house expertise or having to go through 3 to 5 day training sessions. It's just not necessary. And now there's finally a solution that will allow you to accomplish just that. We figure we have the next generation application packaging solution, and based on the number of downloads we had within the first 90 days, we definitely feel we've hit a home run. And we're an integrated solution. No add-ons, no packs required. What you see is all in one easy-to-use interface, and it really does speaks to the reasonable price point and keep it in line with what a tool like this, where it should be priced at. So as far as additional resources, we're going to be sending out the recorded version of today's webinar to all attendees. If you'd like to purchase Smart Packager, visit the Smart Packager product page on Scalable.com, or you can go through your preferred reseller partner. You can also find Smart Packager on Scalable Software Facebook page, our LinkedIn page, or via Twitter. You can go to our Twitter page at Smart Packager, as well as Scalable Software on YouTube. This concludes today's event. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us for the introduction of Smart Packager Pro, the next generation in application packaging. Thanks a lot again, and have a great day.